one more. King Edward III, Act 4, Scene 4. Enter Prince Edward, Audley, and others. Audley. The arms of death embrace us round, and comfort have we none, save that to die we pay sour earnest for a sweeter life. At Cressy Field our clouds of warlike smoke choked up those French mouths and dissevered them. But now their multitudes of millions hide, masking as 'twere the beauteous burning sun, leaving no hope to us but sullen dark and eyeless terror of all ending night. This sudden, mighty, and expedient head that they have made fair prince is wonderful. Before us in the valley lies the king, vantage with all that heaven and earth can yield. His party stronger battled than our whole. His son, the braving Duke of Normandy, hath trimmed the mountain on our right hand up in shining plate, that now the aspiring hill shows like a silver quarry or an orb, aloft the which the banners, bannerets, and new replenished pendants cuff the air and beat the winds, that for their gaudiness struggles to kiss them. On our left hand lies Philip, the younger issue of the king, coating the other hill in such array that all his gilded upright pikes do seem straight trees of gold, the pendants, leaves, and their device of antique heraldry, quartered in colours seeming sundry fruits, makes it the orchard of the Hesperides. Behind us too the hill doth bear his height, for like a half-moon opening but one way, it rounds us in, there at our back our lodge, the fatal crossbows, and the battle there is governed by the rough Chatillon. Then thus it stands, the valley for our flight, the king binds in, the hills on either hand are proudly royalized by his sons, and on the hill behind stands certain death in pay and service with Chatillon. Death's name is much more mighty than his deeds. Thy parcelling this power hath made it more. As many sands as these my hand can hold are but my handful of so many sands. Then all the world, and call it but a power, easily ta'en up and quickly thrown away. But if I stand to count them sand by sand, the number would confound my memory, and make 1,000 millions of a task, which briefly is no more indeed than one. These quarters, squadrons, and these regiments, before, behind us, and on the other hand, are but a power, when we name a man. His hand, his foot, his head, hath several strengths, and being all but one self-instant strength, why all this many oddly is but one, and we can call it but one man's strength. He that hath far to go tells it by miles. If he should tell by steps, it kills his heart. The drops are infinite that make a flood, and yet thou knowest we call it but a rain. There is but one France, one king of France. That France hath no more kings, and that same king hath but the puissant legion of one king, and we have one, that apprehend no odds. For 1 to 1 is fair equality. Enter a herald from King John. What tidings, messenger? Be brave and be plain and brief. The King of France, my sovereign lord and master, greets by me this foe, the Prince of Wales. If thou call forth 100 men of name, of lords, knights, esquires, and English gentlemen, and with thyself and those kneel at his feet, he straight will fold his bloody colours up, and ransom shall redeem lives forfeited. If not, this day shall drink more English blood than e'er was buried in our British earth. What is the answer to this proffered mercy? This heaven that covers France contains the mercy that draws from me submissive orisons. That such base breath should vanish from my lips to urge the plea of mercy to a man, the Lord forbid. Return and tell my king, my tongue is made of steel, and it shall beg my mercy on his coward Burgonet. Tell him my colours are as red as his, my men as bold, our English arms as strong. Return him my defiance in his face. I go. Enter another herald. What news with thee? The Duke of Normandy, my lord and master, pitying thy youth is so engirt with peril, by me hath sent a nimble-jointed jennet, as swift as ever yet thou didst bestride, and therewithal he counsels thee to fly, else death himself hath sworn that thou shalt die. Back with the beast unto the beast that sent him. Tell him I cannot sit a coward's horse. Bid him today bestride the jade himself, or I will stain my horse quite o'er with blood, and double gild my spurs, but I will catch him. So tell the capering boy, and get thee gone. Enter another herald. Edward of Wales, Philip the second son, to the most mighty Christian king of France, seeing thy body's living date expired, all full of charity and Christian love, commends this book full fraught with prayers to thy fair hand, and for thy hour of life entreats thee that thou meditate therein, and arm thy soul for her long journey towards. Thus have I done this bidding, and return. Herald of Philip, greet thy lord from me. All good that he can send I can receive. But think'st thou not the unadvised boy hath wronged himself in thus far tendering me? Haply he cannot pray without the book. I take him no divine extempora. Then render back this commonplace of prayer to do himself good in adversity. Besides, he knows not my sin's quality, and therefore knows no prayers for my avail. Ere night his prayer may be to God, to put it in my heart, to hear his prayer. So tell the courtly wanton and be gone. I go. How confident their strength and number makes them. Now, oddly, sound those silver wings of thine, and let those milk-white messengers of time show thy time's learning in this dangerous time. Thyself are busy and bit with many broils, and stratagems forepassed with iron pens are texted in thine honorable face. Thou art a married man in this distress, but danger woos me as a blushing maid. Teach me an answer to this perilous time. To die is all as common as to live. The one in choice, the other holds in chase. For from the instant we begin to live, we do pursue and hunt the time to die. First bud we, then we blow, and after seed. Then presently we fall, and as a shade follows the body, so we follow death. If then we hunt for death, why do we fear it? If we fear it, why do we follow it? If we do fear, how can we shun it? If we do fear, with fear we do but aid the thing we fear to seize on us the sooner. If we fear not, then no resolve and proffer can overthrow the limit of our fate. For whether ripe or rotten drop, we shall, as we do draw the lottery of our doom. Ah, good old man, 1,000 armors these words of thine have buckled on my back. Ah, what an idiot hast thou made of life to seek the thing it fears? And how disgraced is the imperial victory of murdering death, since all that lives his conquering arrows strike, seek him, and he not them, to shame his glory. I will not give a penny for a life, nor a half penny to shun grim death, since for to live is but to seek to die, and dying but beginning of new life. Let come the hour when he that rules it will, to live or die, I hold indifferent. Wow. Another great scene. Cool.